had actually my listing appointment already binding and everything ready to go because I'm anticipating to be so much business. I'm over.
Yeah. Wait, you broke up there for a
Day,
second. Hold on.
after
All
I'm
right, sir,
calling.
go back like 20 seconds. You broke up.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Oh, I know what it is, you guys. Hold on, let me cut that down. Okay, what about now? Is that better?
Much better. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So I have all my stuff ready. So I'm cold calling. I started cold calling after we did a script practice this morning. Me and Marquita actually gonna be Marquita. I think I'm saying it right. We're
Arkia.
script partners now, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we were on there and we're doing our scripts. We get off the phone and I'm like, I'm gonna make my cold calls now because that's important to me to get where I want to go. So on one of my calls, I'm speaking to someone. He's like, "Hey, I talked to his sister. The sister says I'm gonna give my brother your information." I'm like, "Okay." The brother called me back within 30 minutes and he's like, "I am gonna be going out of town. I have a speaking engagement, but if you can come by, right?" I said, okay, I'm looking at this property and I'm saying to myself, okay, I'm going to do that because I can come by beforehand because I already have all my material ready. I don't have to get ready for my appointment, right?
That's right.
I get dressed, I go to this appointment. In the midst of my appointment, bring him my presentation, I bring him comps, I bring him and tell him about his property. So first
We're
off,
having the
let
same
me
same
tell you what
issue.
the first thing he said. Oh, hold on, let me cut that off. How about now?
Better.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing he tells me is first, let me tell you this, young lady. He's like, you come over here and you're the first agent in all my years who have come with a presentation and leaving me a packet like this with comps and numbers. He said, I haven't had anyone to do that since I've been doing business. So this actually guy, he's a chess extraordinaire. So meaning that he teaches people from all over how to chess. It's been noted in magazines all in his house and everything, right?
Wait.
So
Say
he's
that whole thing again.
extremely intelligent.
Hold on. Say that whole thing again. Did you say he was a
Oh, okay.
chess extraordinaire?
Extraordinaire. Uh-huh. So
Like chess,
yes,
the
and he
game
teaches
chess?
people all over the world the game chess.
Oh
Yes.
man, this dude
And
is a
he
thinker.
he literally, yes, that much, very, very much so. All in his house. When you come up to the driveway on the front lawn, he has a chessboard on the lawn. When you come in the house, there's chess everywhere, right? So
Okay.
he's converted this house pretty much into a residential, commercial type business for that, handicap accessible and all that. But he's so impressed, he's saying, by what I'm bringing and have shown to him in the appointment, right?
Okay.
So he's just like, I appreciate you coming out here, and this says so much about you because you're giving value. And most people always look to make money. And I teach people don't always look to make money, look to bring value to whomever you're going to have a conversation with. So then he goes on, he gives me a tour, and he's like, see, you didn't know I've worked with Mike Tyson, and he's telling me about Ted Turner wife and a couple of other engagement he has. But what made this so funny, y'all? This was the funny. He also writes songs.
Okay.
So in the midst of this appointment, he goes and he says, "Let me share something with you." So the guy goes and he plays the music, and I record it because I said, "It is no way I'm gonna let this moment go by and not record me having to sing the hook on this song that he has created." From from nowhere. He sings this song. The song, everything he does is uplifting, right? That's the
Yeah.
first thing. So this whole song is this empowering song that I'm definitely gonna use on my social media. And you're gonna laugh at it, Bill, but it
Hey,
is so funny because
all
you
right.
see him in there engaging with me in this song. And even though right now I'm gonna go back because he would like the property to be zoned as commercial, so I'm gonna look up what it would be like if he were to do that at this point and sell it.
Yep.
It was just a good exchange just to know that whatever you're looking for, it is so coming, and being prepared for that on such short notice really made me feel good about where we are and what we're getting in these meetings and how you have us kind of like thinking forward instead of thinking behind on what it is that we have to get done. You just never know. You know what I mean? So
I
anyway,
love.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, and I appreciate you sharing that. And I, like, think about it this way, okay? There's kind of like three. Let just say
Right.
there's three things you got to prepare for when you get an opportunity for a meeting. Okay, you got to get the normal stuff like done, right? The listing presentation, get it organized, and all that. Then you got to get kind of the custom listing presentation done. So you pull up some stats or some comps or whatever on that specific prospect, right? That specific house. And then
Mhm.
there's the getting your head right
Mhm.
in preparation to come in there with confidence and, speak confidently and all these kind of things, right? So there's just oftentimes not enough
Right.
time to do all three. So how many can you get one of
Mhm.
them out of the
Mhm.
way, right? And one of them, which is like the
Right.
getting ready to be
Right.
confident and like get your head right, mostly out of the way. So then all of the stuff you've got to do to
Right.
prepare is all the individualized, personalized stuff for that particular client. Now, if
Mhm.
you have to go and spend all this time creating the whole presentation, figuring out how to search online because you don't
Mhm.
know the tool, and then hope that you find the right information, then you're not going to have enough time to get your head right,
Right.
and you're going to look like a mess, right? And
Right.
I always
Right.
did, like, I know this sounds ridiculous, but this is another manifestation of what Twantis is saying. Like, I didn't go buy one lockbox. I said, I don't want one listing. I want a
Mhm.
bunch of listings, right? So I went out and
Right.
bought a bunch of lock boxes. And as a matter of fact, I don't mean this to sound offensive in any way, but I intentionally bought them from people that were getting out of the business. Okay. I did
Mm.
that for two reasons. One is they were cheaper. And secondly, I wanted to
Mhm.
look at the people that didn't make it. I wanted to look at them, and I wanted to make sure that
Mhm.
wasn't going to be me. Okay. And I would even
Right.
ask them some questions about how they're, why they got into the business and why they were leaving the business. And everything I said went into the file of, I don't want to do that. Right. I didn't want one listing.
Right.
I wanted a bunch of listings. So I didn't go to the sign store and get one sign. I went and got a bunch of them. Right. And I always
Right.
had one, like, if
Right.
this is the wall that, you pull your car into the garage, and the wall that your front of your car is facing is right here. I always had a sign right there.
Mhm.
So I'd pull
Right.
into the garage, and I'd see a damn for sale sign. I'm like, what the hell is that doing here? Ain't doing me any good here. This needs to be in somebody's front yard. And that caused me to
Right.
want to get back into action of finding more people to help. And like Paul said
Mhm.
yesterday, and we've said 100 times, like, it's all this. It's all this. If you can figure out when your body
Yes.
allows your mind to be awesome, and when your body allows your mind to not be awesome, you just got to figure out how to, when you're making a mistake, get right back on track. Get right back on track, right? You know,
Right.
I appreciate you sharing that, Twantis. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Congratulations. He'll never forget that
Yes.
meeting, and you won't either.
No, ever, ever.
Right?
Like outside of him thinking that he's gonna, and sometimes now marry me at some point in the future, I'm like, that ain't. Look, let's talk about just the listing.
Yeah, but you know what? It's relationship building. It's rapport building.
Right,
It
right.
remind like remember we're always like kind of compiling our list of like, oh my gosh, I remember when this happened. Oh my gosh, let me tell you about this buyer,
Yeah,
right? Just remember. I'm sure we all know this, but we live in a very public world, right? If you're
yeah,
having a crappy day with a client, try to refrain from being negative online.
yeah,
Don't be, cussing and, judging and
yeah.
you know saying, oh my gosh, my client just killed the deal because the appraisal couldn't work out, or he left the deal because we couldn't fix some wood rot, and wood rot's so easy to fix, blah blah blah. Just keep it positive, right?
Yeah.
And absolutely don't mention people's names. right?
Right.
Don't say, hey, that my client Kim Liptrot, gosh, let me tell you about how, you know, how little she listens or whatever, right? You just don't want to do that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I could sit here and tell you guys stories all day long that would, some are from the very beginning days of having no pipeline and no money, and you know, and certainly better days after that. What else is on? Oh, just so I can throw this out there, um, I want to be respectful of you all's possible desire to see Michelle Slater's class. So if people are, she is doing something in the Market Center and on Zoom at 1:30 on FISBO. So if you'd like to go to that and you don't want to make me feel bad or something, we can end this session a bit early, and you guys can all have my what's the word I'm looking for? Not approval, but that's kind of what I mean anyway. To go.
I did want to check it out.
All right, I won't take any offense. You've hung out with me already for over an hour today. I get it. I get it. All right. Well, in the next 13 minutes, then, what can how can I help you, or how can you guys help each other? Brian, let's spend a minute on you. Actually, I don't want to forget that. So Brian had some questions about pulling comps. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're struggling with or what your question is?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to find something around that area, and especially one that has a lot that kind of matches. But the list, like everything online, shows that it's a 4 2.5, but it's not. It's actually a 3-3.
Okay.
With a finished basement.
Is this a townhome?
No, it's on 0.8 acres in Dunwoody.
It's a 3-3 on 0.8 acres in Dunwoody. Okay. Yeah. What school district is it in?
It's Austin Elementary.
Okay, so Austin and Vanderlyn, by far and away, are the most popular school districts in Dunwoody. So don't comp it with anything outside of those school districts.
Yeah, and that's what I'm struggling with as well, because there's not much that's a 3-3 that is Austin Elementary.
So here's what do you have, like, it just from your kind of first run at research, do you feel like you have a range?
I thought that I had it narrowed down a little bit, but that was before
what would that range be? What would that range be?
Well, I was thinking it was between 5 and 515.
Oh, that's a really tight range.
Yes.
Okay, great. So let's just assume that it's 5 to 515. I would look in Austin Elementary for everything from 450 to 550.
Okay.
And take that as an opportunity to learn that market strong, right?
Okay.
So don't get overly caught up in whether it's a 3-bath or a 2.5-bath or a 3.5-bath. Be more, because people they're looking for, they always make decisions with competition in mind. Meaning, I'm going to choose this because it's better than this.
Yeah.
Right. And I wish I could have this, but it's outside of my price range or whatever. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to find the thing that makes the most sense for their needs and their specific family, obviously within their budget, that's better than any other matches in the marketplace. You follow that?
Yeah.
So I would pretend like that home was on the was listed. Okay.
Right.
It's got the fancy pictures and it looks sharp, right? And then I would look at every home that is on the market in Austin Elementary School District between 450 and 550.
That is active. So the competition.
I would look at the pendings and the solds in the last, let's say 90 days.
Okay.
Okay. And let's break that down. So number one, the actives of the competition. No one's buying my home if some other home is a better buy. Does that make sense? So if it's larger, if it's got a bigger yard, if it's got higher level of updates, if it is newer, right? If it's in better condition, they're going to buy the other home, right?
Right.
So what you're trying to do is identify a couple of properties that you would say are superior to the subject property and see where that range is. And then ideally a couple properties that are inferior to the subject property. Inferior doesn't have to mean it's a junky house. It's just, smaller, older, less updated, or less expensive, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do is, that's what I mean by the boundaries or the brackets, right? So,
Yeah.
hey, it looks like every single home at 525 or more is better than this home. And every single home for, 5 or lower is less impressive than this home, which means I'm between 5 and 525. Now,
Yeah.
if I'm between 5 and 525, is there any other homes that I could potentially choose from? Right?
Okay.
Yes. Well, here's one for 515. Was that better than the subject home? Okay, here's one for 505. Is that better than the subject home? Right? It's not a perfect science, right? Just the fact that there's a transaction at all that takes place shows you that there's a difference of opinion of value.
Right.
Right? Let me give you an example. Let's say I have a guitar, okay? And let's say the value of the guitar is $500, okay? I go online, all the guitars similar to this one sell for $500, okay? Let's say I sell you that guitar for $500. In my opinion, I think the guitar is worth less than $500 because I'd rather have the money than the guitar.
Right.
Interestingly enough, you're the opposite. You believe theoretically that that guitar is worth more than $500 because you'd rather have the guitar than the $500.
Yeah.
And that's why we have a marketplace where we can make that exchange. Understand?
Yep.
So, that there is no like perfect, hey, this home's worth $507,325 and not a nickel more. Okay? No. If somebody is willing to pay more than that, then yeah. Right? But if you put it on the market and a couple weeks go by and it's not sold, it ain't worth that. There's 8 billion people in the world and not a single one of them wants it.
Yeah.
No offense, but no one's going to buy your home at that price. It ain't going to happen. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then the next step, of course, would be to go to the pendings. Okay. Hey, come say hi. Your class.
Oh,
I need
there you go.
one of these. There's not one in there.
There's not?
Uh-uh.
Grab one from Aubrey's office.
Okay. Okay.
Say hi. Say hi to everyone. All
Hey,
right,
Michelle.
These are going to be your students here in just a second. I'm about to dismiss early.
Okay, good.
So then we go to the pendings. Okay, the pendings, think of those as the winners. Okay,
Right.
that's the best of the bunch. Those are the ones that won in comparison to the homes that are still available. Okay, and if you want, you can go real detailed and say, well, this home was available at the same time this home was available, and they chose this one theoretically, right? There's no secret listings. Look, if somebody wants a 4-bedroom, like probably 5,000 buyer instant notification systems that people are on right now, they're going to know that the home is available. Trust me. Okay. And in an instant, they're going to make a decision. Hey, I want to go see this home, or I do not want to go see this home. The first thing they go to is the pictures, right? Because the price is already matched, or they wouldn't have got the notification, right? So the first place they go is the pictures. If the pictures suck, the next place they go is the value is there. So if the pictures are no good, they say, well, the only way this home is going to sell is if the price is really good. So they go to the price and like, pass. See what I'm saying? So you better get them instantly with the combination of the pictures and the price. You follow what I'm saying? If a home doesn't have a picture of the backyard, it's because the backyard's no good.
Yeah.
Right. Now, then you go to the sales. Now, the sales just really just tells you what the market was willing to do a month ago. Doesn't necessarily mean what's going on today, because those homes aren't competing with any of the ones that are available today. You basically just have some concrete evidence of what the market, what won a month or so ago. And that's also what the appraisers are going to be studying, the buyers and the buyer's agents are going to be studying to support your price. But the only way that you have an appreciating market is you have a sale. Let's say that there's a sale for 500 and the next similar property sells for, let's say, 510. Now, why would a buyer pay more than the last guy paid? Well, because they have a sense of urgency, or they have a specific timing situation, or that was the only way they were going to win. right? Because of multiple offers. So the only way that a price jumps is if somebody's willing to be the highest sale.
Right.
And they're only going to be willing to be the higher sale is if they can't find anything else in the marketplace.
Right.
I know I'm kind of talking very like 30,000 foot view, but does this kind of add some clarity to like a good way to approach pricing?
Yeah.
Any thoughts, feedback, questions, complaints?
I sort of have the same situation with pricing as Brian built on the condo I'm trying to sell. It gets traffic every day. Traffic is not a problem. The pictures are good. The agents tell me the price is good, but the house is small. So, you know, I've spoken to several agents who are having a tough time selling condos right now.
Mhm.
And there's not really a reason to reduce the price. It's just,
Well, only if you want to sell.
well, if the price is 300, right? If you reduce it, if you reduce it 10,000, it's not going to do a thing. If you reduce it, it's going to have to be drastic, like almost you're going to have to sell it for like 250, almost like dumping it, right? And my seller doesn't want to do that because she doesn't have to sell. She's like, I don't have to sell it. I'll just hold on to it until it sells. So I'm kind of stuck in that place because reducing it by $10,000 or $15,000 is not going to attract anybody.
Why do you say that? Just out of curiosity, how do you know that?
Because I've spoken to all the agents that have seen it, and we have this discussion, and they're like, Kim, it really doesn't matter, because even if we're going to negotiate with you to get to 280 or 290, that's not the problem. They're like, the house is beautiful, it's just too small. Like my client can't fit her stuff, that's the complaint from every single person that's seen it.
Well, whenever they say it's too small, what they really mean is it's too small for X, the price.
But okay, that's what I was thinking. But I've even had agents from the office come in and they're like, no, don't move the price. Because, I mean, there are some in that neighborhood that have sold for that price that are the same size. It just takes a while. And my client knows that. And she's like, I'm not willing to get rid of my condo for 240 or 250.
So I'm not suggesting that she should, and I'm not even suggesting that in your exact situation, reducing the price is the smartest move. But if your client isn't satisfied with owning this home at 300, she needs to make an adjustment. Okay. And let's use a different example. Steep driveway in a neighborhood full of $300,000 homes. You want this house for 300 with a steep driveway? No, it's got a steep driveway. How about 240? What steep driveway? Right? So what they're saying is the price is too much for insert objection here. It's too small, it's too big, it's in the wrong neighborhood, it's in the wrong school district, whatever. So it's always price and condition, or price and location, or price and any slew of possible problem the house has. If you want to get rid of the problem, you lower the price. Kim, I don't want you to hear that I don't think you're doing a good job, and there's only so much you can do with an unmotivated owner. Okay. But understand that if you lowered the price, you'd probably see more activity.
I know, but that's what I'm saying though. Activity is like not the problem. And I will tell you, I've had investors call me that want the property and don't have a problem with the price, but there's a 25% cap on rentals and they have a waiting list for rentals.
Yeah, of course.
So,
yeah.
So
I mean, I remember in these in condos in Midtown, used to have 10-year wait lists for rentals.
Yeah. So so I'm kind of like, my head's about to explode on what to do with this place, because she doesn't need the money.
You want a great idea?
Mm-hmm.
You tell this is live, and I will take a risk by saying this publicly. Okay. You can have a consensus with your owner who is unmotivated that you are doing the best you can and you're going to follow up on every single lead, et cetera, et cetera. However, you are going to get a different client in addition to the one you have, who has a better likelihood of taking you to the closing table. So the only way, don't rack your brain on this woman. The issue is simple. It's a slow market for condos and you have an unmotivated seller. Go find another client.
Yeah.
Because you're just spending
I
all
had
day
a
long
listing.
trying to
I actually
justify.
have a listing appointment with another person in that neighborhood to list another condo.
Good. Say, hey, this one's at 3, it ain't selling. Let's start at 275. What?
I had a question for Ken. That's what I wanted to just ask her real quick, because she mentioned that some investors were also looking and wanting to buy it at that price. But my question would be, so when you look at your reports and what sold over there, have they sold? How long did it take? How many days on the market were the other properties that you had priced at 300?
Okay, you ready for this? They
Uh-huh.
came right after COVID when everybody started buying again. The last one that was her size sold in July or June in 3 days.
But that's just one. Did you have any others that you had that were like that as well?
No, because there are not that many that are that small. There are only a couple in there that are that small, and she unfortunately bought one of them.
So it's just one within the last 6 months to a year?
Mm-hmm, correct.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say, like, to stress kind of like now that kind of sides a little bit with what Bill is saying too. There is not enough evidence that there are more properties, too, that are selling just with that one, right?
Right.
So I would go in there and I'd look for every sale that's a 2 or 3 bedroom home. I forget which one it is, Kim, that is sold in that, couple mile radius in North Sandy Springs between 250 and 350, and say, hey, here is 17 homes that have gone under contract since we've been listed. Now, you're going to find something today. It's either a termination of our listing agreement or it's a price reduction. Now, what's it going to be?
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Now, if nothing has gone under contract since you've been listed, well, hell, you're all overpriced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, that's a good one.
All right, guys,
do that.
let's go hang out with Michelle Slater. I appreciate your time today. And
Thank
we'll see you.